So good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Solutionaries, where we like to showcase and highlight amazing people doing amazing things, helping to midwife the new paradigm, the new earth, and the new humanity. I'm really happy today to be doing this broadcast because not only am I here in beautiful Colorado, but our guest today is broadcasting live waterside from Slovenia in Europe. So welcome to our show. We have this week Alenka Slavinec. Welcome.
Welcome. Hi, I am in Slovenia. This is River Drava, and you asked me where it all began. I think at this river, actually.
Great. And I just wanted to mention for our viewers, you and I had actually met recently at the 8th Fire, Eagle, and Condor Gathering in Palenque, Mexico, which is part of the Eagle and Condor Council of Chief Phil Lane and 13 others. But you're also part of, you got recognized with a Jaguar Award. So it was great to meet you in such an amazing location. And before we dive into that and talk about your work with the Eagle and Condor 8th Fire Council and your work in Slovenia and really around the world, we want to know a little more just about Alenka, about who you are, where you are, and how did you get involved in the work that you're currently doing?
I'm coming from Slovenia, which is the country with only name love inside. It seems that now this kind of resonate with also what I do. So as an artist, I started with the Lipizzaner horses during my studies in New York. I was invited by Slovenian government to have exhibition about something that would represent the country, and the horses are universal language, like music in all around the world. And so Lipizzaners is they are our heritage, living heritage. And I was fortunate that I got approval to have permission to take pictures of them and present the country through the 20 years of Slovenian independence. And this project called Slovenia and Us, Love in Us, is traveling around the world still. Has been in China, Japan, Kuwait, Egypt, Europe, Italy, and America. It started in America. And so horses were actually also connection with Chief Phil Lane in 2019 in the World Dignity Forum, where I was also participating. We connect immediately about the horses. The horses, for me, as for many other people in the world, are very healing and very down to earth, in the same time very cosmical. They present the presence and this time of life that we are, rare people are actually present in the moment. So in my belief, horses are actually here to remind humanity also to be present, because they don't really communicate with you if you're not also honest with your heart. So without the heart, you can't, open heart, you can't really communicate with horses.
Right. Amazing too, just to add to that, I'm actually a horse in Chinese astrology, and I'm actually a fire horse. And some other fire horses throughout history are people like Genghis Khan and others.
Oh, yeah.
But it is fascinating because not personally, but just that the horse in many indigenous cultures symbolizes the horse is where the back of civilization has been developed. And if we look all throughout history, many cultures that developed quicker, became more mobile, always included the use of the horse. So it's a very, like you're saying, it's a very important animal symbolically and literally around the world.
Yeah, it's very well accepted. It's like music, you don't need to talk. And it also doesn't have any race or doesn't have also status, even though it's used in all status. And Lipizzanas are used for carriages, and they were used for kings and queens. Just to mention, I had experience with the Queen Elizabeth because I took also a picture of her horse here in Slovenia. And the photo was given to her actually also as a part of the collection. And back to maybe back to indigenous people in Americas and my relation to the projects and America itself, why it's resonate. It's probably because the nature, the way I understand it from small, it's being understood there very profound. They call it shamanic. Shamanic word here means quite a, it has a negative connotation in a way because people don't understand it. But when you look deeply, what does it mean? It's actually, it's meaning to understand yourself and nature through your own experience. And that is always healing process. And that, yeah, so I found very peace and discovering in nature all my life. And when I got across the American culture and the way they worship and you worship the nature, it was very familiar for me. It was like coming home. It was not something new, but it was authentic. That was it. It was like yeah, it was like music or love. And
Well, it's also interesting too, because in many places of the world, I actually worked with some people, indigenous people from South America, and there's a lot of people now who work with what's called equestrian therapy, where they're
yeah,
working with people who might have different, um, either autism or different types of learning or developmental disorders, and they're working directly with horses, and they're getting these incredible results because, as you said, the horses actually respond to the heart,
frequency.
to the frequency and the coherence of the
Mm-hmm.
person that they're working with. So, an amazing field. And I do want to say for people watching this broadcast, more than just being an artist, um, and photographer and filmmaker and producer, that you're doing that with an actual mission. So for you as an artist, what I would call an artivist, someone who's an artist but uses their work with a mission for activism, for education, for bringing awareness. What is there a universal theme to your work, or does each part of your life take on different themes? And what are you doing? What are you hoping to inspire and accomplish with your art?
Most of all, authentic, how you say, authentic, authentic. This being allowed to doubt in everything and believe at the same time in the beauty and divine energy of life itself, and going deeper on the basics which are being kind of forgotten. I strongly believe that religions, maybe it's not a good uh, to express it, but I truly believe that universe and the gods is inside of all of us, and this kind of being differently taught, um, and all about the water and the five elements, especially the fifth element. It's been kind of taken out of the systems to understand, except the indigenous kind of kept it all the way. So I believe the answer in all of understanding and awakening is in that fifth element. This is ether. And that goes with love, with universal laws, with secret geometry, with light, understanding, and understanding of oneness, which comes very well with the teachings and wisdom of Chief Fielding in the for a World, which was my first true connection, and start reading and understanding through it. But I truly connected. It was so the experiences last year of these gatherings. I was in Omaha, also in the Freedom Healing Ranch. It was beautiful experiences. Also seeing people from different different parts of economy or however trying to or implementing the knowledge or understanding of oneness in their own way. Nothing is perfect, and different people are in a different stage of awareness and consciousness. So I believe we passed this kind of attacking system, which was, I believe, very much present in year 2000. So people judge each other. Now I think it's more about understanding that everything that you come across, the different tools. Also, religion is a tool for in the way
Right.
you have.
Well, let's do this. I love what you're saying, and I think it's amazing because as an artist, you're working with a medium that actually transcends people's differences, and you're bringing together a unified experience. And sometimes, how people perceive art. I'm also a musician, so I can go anywhere in the world. I've been in Brazil, in Egypt, across Europe, Central America, and I go and play music, and it's art is a universal language that helps inspire and create this unity that you're talking about, and brings people together. And it can also be a tool for, again, bringing light to things that need to be seen. So before we go into your work right now with Phil Lane and the Eagle Condor and the Eighth Fire, and of course you are now a part of this evolving Jaguar Council of Support. I would love to share some of your work with people so they can get a sense of your work. And I will say, when we even talked about doing this interview, it was like typically people will set a camera up and they're in an office, and it can be a very, stagnant environment. And you say, well, let's just do it out in nature. Let's do it here by the water. And I'm happy to hold the camera because, again, as someone who works with aesthetic and light and imagery, it was really intriguing to be able to have this opportunity to do this interview with you where you
That's
are.
me. That's
That's
me. I
you.
like to pose also in front of the camera sometimes.
So let's do this. Let's go take a little look at some of your work. And this is just the home page right now. And
Mhm.
and
Maybe I
some
start here to explain the people that this website is set up on the free stages. I mean, has a free concepts. And the fourth one is more generic works that I did for hotels and for festivals. But I could put my works in three categories. One is a wake up call that goes with very go under the also SDGs and all these goals, the philosophy of protecting the environment and having this message of protection and keeping and development. And then we have Cilium. That's a very special chapter. We were gonna go with the picture, so when we come to that project, I will show you. And the other one is HDH. This is Horse, Dignity, Humanity. Under that, I gather the projects like Bosnian mountain horses. Then I have Lipizzaner's. I was in China also for the horses, work with Simon Ma, artist that does amazing arts for horses in the way of sculptures, paintings, big exhibitions, music. And his surname is actually a horse. Ma means horse. And I exhibit him on the Art Basel in Miami, Art Miami, in 2018. We collaborate on that. I was also an ambassador for the horse, Bosnian mountain horse, who is about to extinct. It's only 300 left. This was the horse that created actually Venice, because all these woods was brought down the mountains from Bosnia and ex-Yugoslavia Balkan region to build the Venice through this with these trees. So they were actually the ones who bring this to the ships on the Adriatic coast. That's quite a story. And they were also a part of Yugoslavian army. They were breeding them. Anyway, that's a whole story. So we go back to maybe to Cilium, what that means, because it's connected with the sound that I'm actually presenting one to one. It's also healing, and this I would be also holding some kind of a workshop one to one in Earth Talk. It will be at sunrises. So how many sunrises we have? There's so many people can apply. It's not much people because I really put the whole energy in it, and it looks like a one-to-one ceremony. You can see the first one, for example, was if you go on the left side, up, yeah, this was just recently for the government, for the project Essence of Humanity. I presented the Ukraine refugee. She lives here and she's without the leg, and Slovenia government helped her. But the unique thing was I invite all of the participants, I mean the portrait people, in the cave, one-to-one, not at the same time. I sang to them my unique frequencies, and then after that I took pictures of them, and each of them cried. And it was so it comes like that. Sound brings the essence of the heart, because these people are not usually being taken pictures of, so they are not comfortable. It's like you drop all the masks. It's like you actually are in another state. It's quite deep. You can
Right.
cry, or yeah.
So looking at the website, we see Essence of Humanity, Witnesses, Golden Age.
So go back
That's
to witnesses. If you look
okay.
the witnesses, you can click on witnesses. I will explain this one. So you have a pope in the middle. You have left and right. If you recognize from New York, ground zero, it's on the face like indigenous lines, But it's basically a ground zero new subway. And you can see by the nose how people going into the nose, and same time presents like a chipping and vaccination on left and right. And you have a question mark or a dot, and the price means witnesses in Slovenia, but English means surprise. And the Pope is saying it has a sign of the on the mouth, like be quiet, but behind is paparazzi, so he is a witness of what is happening. So it's up to you. What is the price of the silence? And you have also cutted hats on the left and right, which means, and he's wearing a white hat, so you can imagine what can this mean. It's a provocative, very complex image with a lot of messages, especially because it was also exhibit and done during COVID, and people were
Wow.
very divided. Yeah, so it is what is the price of the silence is it was this work. Yeah. So you can see this picture of her. You can see like an 8, and it's like an 8, but left is her past life. It was happy, and then she was in Ukraine war, lost the mother and the leg. And on the right side is very concerning future. This is just from opening. People can go deeply, and the written text and everything is on the right side. So I would maybe go back to some parts of the water. I present this on the Water Day and the Expo Dubai. Maybe talking about this quantum realization of what you see, the water, the blue.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So if you see this image, go down, people can see the video that was presented in Dubai. But this image was taken by this river at the time of 2 weeks into COVID. So when everybody was even afraid to pass you in the nature, they would go 20 meters away, absolutely feared. It was such a fear everywhere. I felt it in the nature. It was just a frequency of fear. And when I was taking pictures, I kind of captured this image. And when I saw it, I was kind of scared because it was
Wow.
really, I was alone. It was already dark because I usually go just before the sunset, and then I stay to the dark because the spirits comes out. So when this spirit came, this is one photo in no Photoshop, and it's actually like a skull of the grandma or something, but it's actually a leaf and the stone. And then you have other spirits like a wolf. And then imagine now I alone, already dark. I had to walk like more than half an hour back home through the forest, and all this fear in the air. And what I saw in the camera, I almost dropped the camera because I felt the fear, but I could not imagine that this is going to be actually transformed into the form of photography.
Well, it's amazing because I know the short time that we spent together in Palenque and then traveling to Chichen Itza, that as we traveled, you were taking photos, and it was pretty amazing to see what was actually being what was actually being revealed from the photos. And these are just pictures that you were just taking from um, kind of a unique perspective of like how you were seeing things, and then you would take it and you would kind of
I feel it before. It's like I can feel the presence of entity or the spirit or however you call it. I don't know how to call it. It is just there. You can't see it, but I can even see it. And I feel it. To me, it reminds me on Terminator, the movie. You know
uh-huh.
that liquid stuff. So it seems like that. Sometimes I can, I just see the what is not there but is there. And it's really, I'm not scared anymore, but it's quite powerful because not everything is good. You need to know to
uh, a-
manage.
a- Absolutely, light and dark interplay.
Yeah.
So let's look at a few more of your pieces if we can here.
Now maybe go to horses. Let's see. uh
Okay.
or maybe this awareness of oneness. That was the chief feeling. I want to show that picture.
Oh,
Go, yeah, here.
this is a happy one. We'll go from the dark COVID skull
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
the
This is actually a Mother Earth presenting a cave. It presents the womb of the mother of the woman. And it presents at the same time a cave as a Mother Earth. And this is the cave in Ibiza where I spend 21 days every morning before sunrise till the night. I would be naked, meditating and just doing whatever on that beach where was nobody actually. But and then I start singing this cosmic name, Cilium, after sleeping in the olive tree for 4 nights in the Crystal Mountain. I mean, that's another story. That's a really,
wow.
that's a really interesting part. And actually, today, one very famous artist, Miha Pogachnik, was in Ibiza, and he was actually in that mountain at that tree, and they called me up, and we shared this story actually today again. So it's quite alive. So we go down. Oh, it's not here. Oh, it's in the catalog. If you open the catalog,
Okay.
yeah, here. So catalog was pick what numbers you have, like number from 001, 002. You see the numbers. This means like if you remember the electronic, that you have it on the next to the bed, this electronic red digital clock, it
Right.
reminds me on that digital starting world that you are counting down the numbers. So it's like 24 pages and then you come to 0 point, and that's the last page of that catalog is like time has run out. So what you're gonna decide? Are you
Well,
gonna act? Oh, this is Chief Lane,
well,
and it presents
this
the
is
white.
it's interesting. This is a really powerful one. I think I told you actually how I met Chief Phil Lane is in 1994. I organized the World Unity Festival in Arizona, and at that time I was working with many indigenous people, including the Hopi elders, and people know them as the Navajo, which is a more of a Spanish name, but the Dene and the Jake Swamp from the Mohawk
Dene.
Nation. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also, it was 2 years after the Earth Summit in Brazil that I attended. And during that time, um, I had the opportunity to go into the Amazon and to meet some of the Yanomami people and the Kayapo and the Shabante. But the idea was that there was this prophecy about this great gathering that would happen in the Four Corners area, which is Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico. And it was like the returning of this ancient migration after the world had been purified by water, which is a global story and mythology for many, but it's the history that the world has had this great flood and this great purification. But at a certain time, people would come back and gather in the Four Corners, very close to the Grand Canyon. So I had organized, working with the elders there, the World Unity Festival. We had almost 20,000 people show up. And one of the people who was invited, who showed up, was Chief Phil Lane. And the day the event started actually was the birth of Miracle, the first of now several white buffaloes. So it's powerful to see this image, because how Phil and I are connected is we stood literally next to each other during the Unity gathering of people from around the world at the time of the white buffalo, which symbolizes the return and the importance of the feminine energy to bring the sacred balance to the world and to humanity. But this picture is really powerful because it's very tied into, of course, Chief Phil Lane's work, but the whole idea of the white buffalo. So yeah, tell us a little more about this. This is an incredible shot.
Thank you. This shot was taken in Aspen. So this was actually our second physical meeting. I mean, not the we gathered in the Aspen for the Earth's Call, which was organized or initiated by Michael Fitzpatrick, amazing person, and I mean, artist with the violoncellist. He played with Dalai Lama and all, but he was the father of that event. And he played amazing music. And so I met Phil again there after the World Dignity Forum in LA, where I met him first time. And then it was organized this Aspen thing. And this was actually taken in a hotel, but I took other pictures of him after singing, and we have an amazing experience about past lives. It was kind of a memory coming back for me, at least in an indigenous past life. Not so happy part, because there are a lot of violent things, like many other places there. So this picture was taken through the fire. Actually, he was sitting on the next. It was in a hotel, but I was sitting on the other side of the fireplace, and he was on the other side in the hotel. But it came out really marvelous. It's like a star.
I can almost see a white buffalo in the image.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And there is other portraits of Phil taken in LA on the beach. That was in Inside Out project that I did for George Floyd in the Unity Week. The first Unity Week I participated in 2020 during the COVID. And I did a video exactly along the way it was video that was recorded his death. And you can see it also on the website. It's Inside Out is the title. And there are other images from Phil, which are very transformative, but it's a connection with the sound that I want to say. All these photos, which are, it's like, they are it's like they're calling the spirits that they are in you, it's just coming out. It's a process. It's very unique experience. So some people, if they want, they can apply, and we'll post this opportunity to do that. I did also. I was not planning to sing this to people. I was actually singing for myself on the beach or wherever I was, and people start coming to listening, and they thought I'm like an opera singer. I'm like, no, But then I sang sometimes in the church where nobody was in, because it's very acoustic. And in Spain, I know that some people ask when it's going to be a concert. I'm not going to have a concert. So it was interesting. Yeah.
Well, it's very interesting too, because I do music, and as a multimedia artist, a lot of times I present images along with me doing music from around the world, which I'm actually going to do at Earthstock. I rarely get the opportunity to perform these days, but I do a presentation called The Universe of Sound. And I play like 30 instruments from around the world, and we do chanting and various things with sound, but it's also accompanied with music. I also wanted to mention, I see that you also have some films that you've done here.
Oh, this film was very interesting. How to say, all the projects that I start, they are done that they can be continued. It's not like a one-time thing. It's like it's kind of a long-term thinking. So this movie, Love in Us, was taken for the web conference, World Web Conference during the pandemic. I was supposed to have an exhibition, but like still exhibition. But the thing was that was canceled, so it was online. So they asked me, the organizer asked me if I can maybe do some video that will be more interesting on the line. But because I'm collaborating with Stott Farm Lipica from since 2010, I asked them why we should not. I mean, I have this idea about the past, present, and future about the Lipizzaner, how to say, life itself, how it began, everything. So I put it in art form, and in the 3 weeks, I produced it in 1.5 with the team. During this COVID times, it was very weird because everything was prohibited, even not to go with the car at 5 o'clock in the morning. You were not allowed, but we did it. And then we shoot, and they clean 50 horses, white horses, for me, and I was also acting in it. So I was standing in a wedding dress, waiting for 50 horses to run over me. And this is a really beautiful, beautiful piece in the movie. And then at the end presents my art. This 20 photos of Slovenia independence through Lipizzaner. And because it was now 30 years of Slovenia independence, I said, okay, I'm done with this part. So let's put it in the art form that it can be also easily presented around. So I would be more than happy to show it. So I have a very good relation to Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well in the Ministry of Culture since this exhibition, actually. And this exhibition was opened by Prime Minister of Slovenia when he was visiting Obama. So it was really an honor, but also very stressful to prepare all this. It was like, was a challenge. And maybe just to mention, I work with the Festival Ljubljana, which is very big part of my career or life. Also acknowledgement in another area. This is more music, and for them, I have two big shows for 60 years of anniversary and 70 years outdoors in capital city Ljubljana for all summer. This was twice, and this Cilium, this singing, I did it with 8 artists in the colony in 2018 with Festival Ljubljana. And we kind of prove that what they are drawing and painting, that is actually their soul. And you could see that in the photos after a ceremony, if I would take pictures. So they confirm the theory. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And I want to go over to the film and just show a minute of the film. But when you do the photography, are you using special lenses or filters? Do you do a special process
Uh,
sometimes?
Usually I just go and I see what I mean, I have, okay, for film I had to have a script there because otherwise they would not allow me to film. This is protection area. This is like not a lot of people have a license to do that at all there. So we kind of developed this relationship for a long term. And the no, I am just using Leica now. I switched from Canon because it became boring a little. Canon. I liked it. Was a very fast camera. Was very sporty, and the pictures were different. And then I kind of, I guess, also inner shift, and I needed something. It is just different shooting now.
Yeah.
I'm shooting
Well, let's do
differently.
this. Let's watch a little clip of your film here. I got
Maybe
it
you
all
go
queued up.
maybe go 2 minutes in the movie. Maybe 2 minutes, 1 minute. Yeah. That's me just saying. Let's maybe pass that because it's presenting and
Okay.
okay, go back. Yeah, stop. Yeah, stop here.
Okay.
and make a sound. Make a sound.
Yeah, for some reason, tell us what you're seeing. The sound's not working at the moment for some reason,
Um.
but just we'll
Okay.
just take one. Let's
Look at
tease
this now.
people.
Look
Let's
at this.
tease
Look at this.
people.
Look at this. Look at this. But it's very slow. Are you seeing it normal?
No, it's
No, it's not working properly. I think it's in bad connection. It should be very smooth. This is not. It's not working.
okay. Well, it's beautiful. It's beautiful images. I think it's just the connection. But
Yeah.
so we have a few minutes left, and we're looking forward to having you at the Earthstock Eco Spiritual Summit, August 19th to 25th here in Colorado. That event will actually be broadcast around the world. And at that event, what are you hoping to present, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, after after these gatherings and following actually the spiritual path and calling, because there was not really logical to travel so far and spend money a lot and just but I felt really strong calling to be there on all these prophecies, and I traveled to Hildego for the eighth fire and on this Palenque twice, and whatever was possible in that journeys. So I was not even aware that this is actually a movement, because I was driven by something more profound that had no label. It was like awakening on a certain level that I did not even understand, honestly. So through the pictures and through the time, I kind of, and eight fire was the thing that kind of cleared that a bit. It was just like, yeah, everything just settled and I could see the path. So now I would like to present these works that I did last 2 years, maybe, through the 5 elements, which is very common, especially with this, as I said, fifth element in the way of I feel like the fifth element is missing in the teachings in the West. So that would be kind of there was also a movie Fifth Element, by the way, a long time ago. And so I would like to present maybe a prophecy of condor, hummingbird, crystal, and eagle through the pictures, this spiritual part, and maybe also at that part, La Ventana, the ceremony. And then I have part of course, I would like to dedicate to Chief Phil Lane, because he's also having a birthday, 8th birthday this year. And then I have the Jaguar Awards. I mean, it's a concept of 5 elements that I'm start doing it, and it's a project. It's ongoing, but at least at each concept, I will present some. And I like to also participate for your other project that you have for the green back, or how you call it.
Yeah, Bill Back Green, and we can
Yeah.
talk more because like you were saying, this really is a part of a very great movement of people that are unifying, whether they're indigenous people carrying a certain specific traditional knowledge, or it's a spiritual person, a wisdom keeper, or if they're people that are working with, food and water security, agriculture, or green technology. But all of these things are coming together. I would like to share, since Earthstock is an eco spiritual summit, I wanted to just show very quickly. I know you had some powerful pieces on your trip to Haiti in Green Maria.
That one is from a plastic bank. That was that was very heavy experience. Oof. I mean, even David Katz, the owner and CEO and founder of the plastic bank, he said to me before I was going there, "Are you sure you want to do that? Because this is gonna stay forever in your life, and it's heavy." He kind of really warned me. this is not just, you know, it stays, and that's
this is this is part of the United Nations World Environment Day group exhibit. And what are we seeing here in the photo?
Actually, this was an exhibition prepared for also for you for UN on the World Environmental Day, 5th of June 2020, but the UN was that time closed down. And what we see that is a part of Haiti in the capital, where people are initiated to pick up this trash and give it to the plastic bank containers and get the money. It's not just the money, they also have applications, those who have the phones, and it's kind of a bank because you have like a tokens and so. And this is David Katz, amazing person who did really a lot. And you can see already that time in Haiti, I know it's a bad time there, but you could see that the main street of Haiti was actually cleaned because people in the 10 years time, they actually start seeing in trash the money and start picking up themselves. And I could feel like the people were happy to be in the clean environment. They kind of, I felt like a shift, at least on that main road, that kind of they would start taking care of their own space, even if it's a street, but they would at least that piece. I've never seen this in any other country like that, on this kind of level. Yeah, that
Right.
it was horrible. We went through the villages at the shore, and people living on the trash, and that was not a wet time. It was a dry season, so it was okay. It was dry at least partly, but it was like 2 meters of trash, and these pigs are eating this trash. They're actually eating trash.
Wow.
And the Henkel CEO, one of the CEOs, she was there, and the Schwarzkopf, because they were opening a new how to say place to pick up and give the support them. So they want to make sure to see themselves how this looks like, and it really had an impact, and they did the change. They start buying recycled plastic from plastic bank, so that they can secure the money for giving back to the communities and
Yeah.
educating people. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I want to give your website information. So for people who are watching the broadcast would like more information. So if you could, again, say your name and how the website address is, and that'll about get us to the end of our time together today. I can see also you're in Slovenia, as you said, the only country with love in its name. I can see
Yeah.
that starting to get dark there on the water. So,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's my time for taking picture. Look at the sky. You can see something? No. Okay.
well, the camera's on blurry background right now, so
Okay.
it's
Sorry.
very impressionistic and kind of psychedelic. So,
Well, that will be another story to go into,
uh,
probably. Yeah.
so your website is Alenka
Alenka, ALENKA Slavinec. And
com.
also, I would like to kind of thank also the whole community from Palenque, and and also the other communities from Unity Earth, and everybody who was in these years, because he asked me what what I've been doing last 2 3 years. It's a nice, beautiful family that's coming together, and we kind of you can see that everybody is having their own ways, but in the same time we are kind of yeah uh, putting together all. Yeah. And the Hector and Adriana, and yeah, it's hard to speak because I forgot so many people in between, but I love you all. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been great to meet you and get to know you, and happy to have this opportunity to share more with people about your work. And of course, we look forward to seeing you and your exhibit, and also just the potentiality of what's coming up. And I know we're
Yeah,
talking about,
business side. Yeah. We didn't
yeah,
even talk about that because, yeah, was more about art, but then again, I studied also marketing before, and I kind of understand that part of the connection with the companies, how they can actually use also art as well as a message in their own communications and PR, and support the projects of artists. Because without art today, without the picture, there is no news. Nobody is listening, and without the music there is nothing. So I think the artists should kind of stand up a little more for their rights and for their payments also to be their own sustainability. But maybe it's for us to present it in the way that they are also see the opportunity and collaboration. I think that part is also need to be breached a little more, you know, because the companies, I believe they want to also be connected. But you know, let's see. I think the Earth Stock is bringing everybody together. That's what we're talking about.
absolutely. And we're going to be glad to have you there, along with participants from all over the world. We have musicians coming from Bulgaria, presenters from India, drummers from Nigeria, Africa, different healers and wisdom keepers coming from Central and South America, and also in a lot of communication with our family there in Europe, in France, in England, and the Netherlands. So thank you for your time. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And you're right, a picture can say 1,000 words, and I think we live in a day and age that not many people read 1,000 words anymore. So
Not at all. They cannot even watch a movie long 8 minutes. They needed 30 seconds on a TikTok, and that's it.
yeah. All right. Well,
So
Alenka,
I
thank
hope
you
you
so.
enjoyed my movie.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much for your time, and I know you and I will be talking about more collaboration in the very near future. And have a great walk back home, and we'll be talking to you soon. And any last words of wisdom you would like to share with our viewers here on Solutionaries?
Oh yeah, if you want to delete your time, how to say, your trauma, stand on your feet, turn around 21 times, and you will be traveling in time back. You see, you're gonna travel, but then if you want to travel in the future, you just do like that. You see? Yeah, I
Amazing.
have other solutions to see you there in the Earth Stock. I love America and I love Colorado. That's my calling. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye. Rocky Mountain High. Thanks, Alenka, for your time.
Bye.